Hello and welcome to Chinballs Gaming. I am Scorp and today I am playing Lonely Mountains Downhill, and this will be more of a mini review slash first impressions, even though I've played this game quite a lot 'cause it is a really good game and I just really want to share it with people and maybe give you a few tips along the way on how to play it. So let's get cracking. I will start with the first level, just where you will start, and it's nice and easy. It's Explorer, and every trail and on all four, I think, different mountains starts with Explorer, which is quite nice. It's a stress-free run of the race, of the trial, I should say. No time involved, just get to the checkpoints and get down. And this is where it really encourages you to explore the maps. You've got no pressure on having to try and set a time or stick to the challenges. Just have a look around. So first off, it tells you there, accelerate RT and steer with L, etc, etc. You will notice that there is a track. There's this light grey track, which is, I guess, the standard track. And then there's these other tracks, which is a dark grey, which is like the tracks that have been rode on the least. So they're probably a little tougher, but they are probably also a little quicker. There's also places you can skip which haven't got any tracks, like here, where it's just grass. But this is where this part you can explore. You just have a look around, and see where you could potentially go to pick up some time later. There is a boost, or whatever you want to call it, a dash, a boost, yeah. And this is in the form of this bar that appears when you use it. It makes you go a lot faster. And I advise using this on straights or on jumps, but you have to be cautious. It's split into two bars. When the green bar is in the big line, the big meter, you can just use this and use it again whenever you want. But if you push it too far into the oops, shit, ouch! If you push it too far into the smaller meter, that's when you've got to wait until it recharges past the line. So it's quite intuitive. Is what with the game, with the UI. One thing you will learn with the boost is that at each checkpoint it does refresh, so it is worth, if you're knowing where the checkpoints are, just to use it all up to the end when you get to the checkpoints, just to get that little bit of extra time. And like I say, with exploring, you can just go pretty much wherever you want as long as you hit all the checkpoints. So you can find some really gnarly shortcuts, just like that one, or here as well. And it will save you a lot of time. Like I say, they usually are a lot harder. The tracks aren't defined, so you've got to just make your own way. Sometimes you do this and you just end up falling to your death. Ooh. If you have played this game, you'll notice that when I crash, the character does not bleed. I took this off in the menus because I don't think it adds anything. In fact, for some reason, it really annoyed me, the blood decals. They just didn't seem right in this game, so I would advise taking them off. I also changed the steering as well, because the default steering is fucking awful. I went for just a standard clockwise, anti-clockwise turn, whereas normally is whichever direction you're pressing, you will go. And I haven't seen that in a game since sort of, I can't remember what game it was. It was some RC racing game on the Amiga way back in the day that had these controls. I'm sure many other did as well on like the NES and things. But they have no place in gaming these days, especially in an analog controller. But, personal preference. I'm the kind of person that on a first-person shooter uses inverted Y-axis, so I can't really say anything, so personal preference, as you wish. As you can see, this game, I love the aesthetics of this game. It looks absolutely stunning. And there we are, at the end. Albeit with a few crashes. Just one thing while we're here is, can we do it here? Yes, if you press B, back to ride, and you just sneak down here nice and gently, then you find a little secret. Take a break, and you have a nice little cozy rest in a nice picturesque lake. I've also got this game on PC. It is cross-buy and cross-save and everything. I do normally play it on the PC. It looks absolutely even more stunning on the PC. This is the Xbox version, and I've got this as my desktop background in 4K. Well, 3440 by 2560 or whatever the fuck super wide is these days. And I'll put a link of those into the description if you want to use them, because they're pretty nice, especially the night level ones. The night levels are very, very nice. Speaking of the night levels, maybe let's have a go on the night track. We'll go on Freerider. So Freerider is pretty much like the rest of the game, except there's no checkpoints. So it's just about getting to the bottom without making any mistakes, basically. Because if you make a mistake, you get sent straight back to the beginning. So you have to take it a bit more gently. But also, you can do far bigger shortcuts. Because normally you have to hit every checkpoint. So you can do shortcuts in between the two checkpoints, but you cannot skip a checkpoint. Whereas in Freerider mode, you can just go where the fuck you want and get straight to the end. That can be very beneficial for your time if you can control what you're doing. Let's do this. I'm going to have a drink of beer. Oh, that's it. So, when you get to this point, you should know how to skip these levels quite a bit. So I'm going to try and, if I can remember, some of the shortcuts I've taken. So I'm going to try and stay off the track completely. Not completely, but quite a lot. So we're going to come down this way. I should try and use my boost as well. Use your boost. Sometimes we are going to come on the track. That's just how life is. I should have gone up there, actually, but never mind. Oh, no, I shouldn't have. This way is quite nice. Oh, too much. Oh, it can be a bit annoying that wasn't so much of a fall, and still it punished me far too much there, I think, personally. There are other bikes that aren't as punishing for those drops, but they're not... Ooh, we're gonna hit. They're not as fast, or the handling's not as good, or whatever. Shit, I'm not making a very good show of this, am I? Let's do it again. Come on. I used up too much of my boost here. Oh, man. Luckily, with the power of editing, I can probably just delete some of this. Unfortunately, in that corner there, you can see how many crashes I've had, so you probably can tell how many times I've cheated and restarted this. Let's try and not crash this time. Oh, shit! Yee! Oh! Not going up there. I think up there's a bit slower, actually, now that I think about it, but this way is quite nice. Slower, slower! Yes, there we go. Eek. Oh, I could have gone down there. There are a lot of shortcuts that you can go. Could have gone that way as well. But you have got to be steady on this. Oh, down here, come on. There we go. Look at that. No checkpoints involved. Screw the checkpoints. I'm trying to remember all the dodgy shortcuts I had. Oh no, I missed the shortcut that I wanted. Never mind. We're just going to persevere. Don't want to get too many resets. Here's a good place to have a boost just to get across there. And here we're going to take this nice sneaky shortcut. If I remember it correctly. This way. And then also, can I get down there? Oh, I've forgotten. No, it's here where I like to shock. Ooh. Yeah. Oh, yeah, missed a nice little skip there. But yeah, there's so much to do, or so much to practice. You know, you can really optimize your runs if you're patient enough to explore. Like I said, this is where the explore mode would be good to figure this out, so you're not resetting to the beginning all the time. So yeah, definitely. Oh, never! I wasn't that far away, I don't think. Definitely get some use out of the explorer mode just to optimize each section. See what? Ooh! Never said it were easy taking all the shortcuts. I'm saying it's beneficial. in my humblest of humble opinions. Like I mentioned, this is the Xbox version. I normally play on PC. It's just a lot easier to capture on Xbox without getting too stressed. I fucking hate OBS. OBS is a nightmare. This is just done in Elgato. But having the options, great. Cross-save is brilliant. And this game is on Game Pass, so if you have Game Pass, just get it downloaded on either system, PC or Xbox, and either's good. They play the same. You're going to want to use an Xbox controller or PlayStation, well, any controller, I guess, rather than a keyboard. But for me, it makes sense to use an Xbox controller just because I play it on Xbox as well. I have a bit of troubles playing the same game on Xbox and PlayStation because I get muscle memory for each particular controller. So I guess going back to the comparison with Trials series, I mean, it is a game about bikes. It's a game about avoiding obstacles and having to brake and slow down and things. But there are a few things that I really like that they've done with this that is different than Trials. So in Trials, there's a hell of a lot of checkpoints, and each time you fail, you go back to that checkpoint, and your time still keeps running, basically. And this sort of encourages you just to keep going and not be so. I don't know what the point I'm trying to make is. So on here, when you, for comparison, when you fail a checkpoint, you go back, but the time also goes back. So you can keep retrying that section until you've got the perfect optimal run, if you so wish. Whereas on Trials, you've just got to sort of get it over with as quickly as possible. Oh, shit. Oh, why am I coming down this way for? Don't know why I came that way. That's going to last me a lot of time, but never mind. So you might have noticed that this game has no soundtrack, not one bit of music, just ambience, which is quite nice. But I actually like to. Normally, I would like to play this with Spotify on in the background, and I would play something equally as ambient, normally an album by 65 Days of Static, which I think they're a brilliant band. I would definitely recommend listening to one of their albums whilst playing this, possibly even the No Man's Sky album. It's just nice and relaxing, nothing too stressful, and I think it quite fits with the style of the game, just the ambient noise. Just complements it somewhat. But if you prefer other types of music, then, give it a try. You might find something that really pushes you. I know that when I'm walking or working out or whatever, I quite often like synthwave, because you can really walk to the beat. Sort of like metal and things. So, find what works for you. If you're needing something to make you go faster, then listen to something really pumpy. If you wanted something to slow you down, then maybe listen to something a bit more casual, a bit tranquiler. But at the end of the day, personal preference, isn't it? Like I said about the control scheme. Okay, we're not having a great run, but we are getting there. I'm going to take some sneaky final shortcuts. Ooh, I had to brake a little bit much then. I'm not making very much use of my boost today, just because I'm a little bit scared that I'm going to crash into something. That rock right there has been my Achilles heel on this run many a times. So let's get this going. Oh shit, I probably have taken a bit of a shortcut there and there. But we're nearly at the end. Let's get this pump to the end. Yeah! Boom! Done. Right. Oh, and while we're here, we'll check out the resting place. Oops, shit. Bees to the side. Check out the resting place in the night mode. This is what I have on my desktop background actually now, since I discovered it. I think there's, I don't know if there's like 14 or something different resting points, which are all very similar to this, just chilled as fuck, basically. So that's the first level so far. This is the easiest level, like I say. And there is a lot of things to unlock. You can unlock bikes, which is done by unlocking bike parts, which you have to do by doing challenges. And I think I've only unlocked one bike because the challenges are so sort of spread out across the maps that you'll unlock one piece of the bike here and one piece of the bike there, and it just seems very, I don't know, artificial. And I think that's probably my only complaint about this game, is the unlock progressions is just a little bit too annoying for my liking. I guess it is a way to just make the game longer, because there is only 4 mountains, and in each mountain there's 4 trials, so you know that's 16 different levels essentially. It's not like the biggest game, so they've had to really sort of pad this out with the progression, I guess. I wouldn't say it's a short game. It's not that type of game, I would say. It's there you go. I've only unlocked the default bike and also the second bike. The rest of them, very little unlocked. And when you do get off the first trial on the first mountain, this is where you really need to start using your brake and letting go of the accelerator. The first level, you can pretty much just, most of the time, keep the accelerator held down. And that's not going to cut it here, really not. I'm going to stick with my grasshopper. I really like the grasshopper. It's well-rounded. I mean, I've only got one other bike unlocked, which is quite fast, and it's terrifying, absolutely fucking terrifying. I think some of the other bikes should probably be unlocked sooner, 'cause it seems, for me and the way my brain sort of works, is I want to learn a trial, and I'll memorize the course and then try different bikes. Without that option, I've then got to go to a different trial, which means then I pretty much instantly forget the trial I'd done previously. So I've got to then relearn it again when I come back on it. So for me, it's sort of backwards. It should be all the bikes are unlocked. You can try them as much as you want on that trial, because you've got that memory of the course, and it doesn't matter what bike you then use, because you can then just remember the bits that are coming up and what bike might be better. Whereas having to keep swapping between trials and bikes just makes makes my brain hurt a little bit, just like hers does probably. Let's see. I do apologise. Shura. I'll call her Shura. Ooh, that looked like a bit of a shortcut down there, didn't it? I should have had an investigate. Yeah, there we go. I bet that would have come out there. You can sometimes tell where things are gonna come out and where you've missed things by seeing where the exits were. So it's always good to go back and take a look at them on another run. Ow. So, this game, there's often obstacles in your way, like these walls and things, which prevent you from seeing where you're going. I've seen some user reviews online, and maybe even some critic reviews, that have really been unhappy with the camera angle and the restricted view. I like this. I think that is basically part of the game. I've never done downhill biking or anything of the sort, and I imagine it's sort of like, this is sort of like downhill biking in real life. Is you don't always see where you're going. Sometimes you just have to commit and go in blind, and I think this game really gives you a good sense of what that is like. I'm not saying like this is anything like actually doing downhill, but it definitely gives you that sort of sensibility of it. Where the fuck am I going? Am I even still on track here? It seems like a fucking horrible part of the course. Oh man, I cannot see shit. Dust storm. Oh, there were a nice sneaky shortcut down there, weren't there? I bet that would have been a juicy one. Let's keep feathering that controls and... Ah, shit. Keep using the... Oh, down there, down there. Alright, I'm going to try it this time. I'm going to try it. Like I say, explore. I need to do that more, is when you fail, just don't sweat it. Don't sweat it when you fail. Just take that opportunity to explore something that you might have missed. Down here, what's down here? Eek! Eek! No, no! No! There we go. Oh shit, that's a fucking narrow beam, innit? Let's see. That's alright. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ooh, I got a heat. Ah, again. Done the same thing. Ooh, I survived it. I survived it. Landed it alright. Ooh, there was a nice sneaky shortcut, but I've gone past it now, so I'm going to keep with it. I'll probably say it's on your first run with Explore, stick to the well-trod path, stick to the light grey, and just get a good sense of the level layout. But in the back of your mind, just keep an eye out for the shortcuts that you've seen and the exits that you've seen and what could potentially save you a lot of time in the future. And then once you've completed the run on the grey trail, try it again. Don't go to the timed part straight away. Try it again, but then investigate these little parts. See which bits are going to be faster for you. Ooh, I can't see. Shit. Oh man, that checkpoint's a long way away. It's a big. That's another big difference between this and Trials, is that the checkpoints on this are pretty big. There's usually only maybe 7 checkpoints on the entire map, whereas like Trials is a checkpoint every sort of 3 seconds or something. Other than Giga Track, if anyone remembers that, probably Tom Nom Nom does. Even my arch nemesis on Trials. Speaking of Tom. If you happen to watch this, you should definitely buy this and set some times, because I need someone who I know to set some decent times, and he was always one to push me on Trials and on Super Meat Boy. Oh, we're going to go the normal way. This is what keeps... I'm giving you this advice and I'm completely ignoring it myself. It's hard. It's really hard to take that advice, so... If you'd want to ignore it, then do, because I'm ignoring my own advice, so I can't really expect you to. Do as I say, not as I do. Oh, shit! Let's get down here. I'm not... No, don't take the shortcut. Don't go up there. Don't take that shortcut either. There are some really nice shortcuts on this game. Ooh! Oh, that's not fair. Not fair. I'm selling it. Get down this track so I can end this video and not bore you all to death with me crashing all the time. I believe this game was a Kickstarter game, and I wasn't aware of it at the time. I only found out about it through... I think it was just through Game Pass, actually. I saw the advert on Game Pass and I'm like, ooh, what is this beautiful looking gem? And since then I've fallen in love with it. Especially the... Sorry to bang on about, you know, PC Master Race and everything, but on my PC this looks awesome in the super wide format. It really does. Ooh, that looks like a nice little shortcut over the water there, didn't it? Is that the end? There we are. That's the end. It's a game about biking. It's about downhill. It's hard not to compare this to something like Trials. Trials Evolution or Trials HD, or whichever the new one is, Trials Rising. You a quick comparison would be it's like Trials but 3D. It is, I guess, it's nice to it is similar to compare it to this, but it's got so much more to offer than just being a Trials ripoff in 3D. It's the mechanics are different. It's less about getting over obstacles. This first mountain isn't too taxing with having to brake and things. The later mountains do get a little bit like that. Personally, I think it's a little too hard to unlock some of these challenges. I do like a challenge, but I think some people who are more casual gamers, it would be nice for these just to be open in a easier way. Maybe there's a cheat code and that you can put in, but it's really worth checking these out. Let's look at my progression. What is the progression? So, trials unlocked 12 out of 16. So I've got one mountain more to unlock, and a number of challenges, a number of outfits and stuff, and resting places. I've only planned 4 of 16. I would like to find all of the resting places and just take a photo on everyone, because the resting places are worth finding. I would play this game just to find the resting places, to be honest. They're beautiful. There's some really amazing low poly artwork that the developers have come up with. So kudos to the developers. You've made this game just absolutely beautiful. The mechanics are refined. There are a few annoying physics glitches here and there when you go off awkward angles on certain things, but they are few and far between. I am a person that I think the camera angles are perfect. I don't think they should be changed, unlike a lot of complaints that I've seen. I think it just adds to the style of the game and that sort of, fear of the unknown. You're not knowing where you're going, just like, I guess, like I said, that an actual downhill rider experiences. This game is definitely worth picking up, so either buy it, get Game Pass, play it on Xbox, play it on PC. It's probably out on PS4 as well. Then I think there was some chatter about it coming on to Switch. So the leaderboards, this is one thing I would change about this game, backseat game development right here, is I think the leaderboards need to be more prominent. You've got to go into the leaderboard menu, you've got to select your friends, you've got to select which course and everything. I really would like this just to be next to the trial. So as soon as you look at the mountain here, it should be right there in the corner saying your friend's times, your friend's current best times. And I think that would really give the game a bit more longevity, because as soon as you log on and you see, you've come on for a quick session, you're like, I'm going to get onto mountain 3, I'm going to set a time, but then as you're passing, you're like, whoa, someone's beaten my time on mountain 1. Look at that, it's that bloody Tom Nom Nom. I'm going to beat him again. This is exactly what I used to do on Trials Evolution, by the way. I'm going to beat his score. And it really needs to be prevalent right there, right here. Every time you click on the next one, shows you, boom, your friend's times, boom, your friend's times. I would love that. If they could patch that in, that would be amazing, and it would keep me playing more and more, rather than having to tab all the way across to leaderboards and then press the right down button to change the filter and change it to friends and change it to all the time and monthly and normal and everything. It's just a bit too hidden. What? DJ beat my time? No. But other than that, which is just a minor detail, leaderboard is nothing really to do with the gameplay, is it? So I will let them off for that. Go out there, buy this game. It's brilliant. What more can I say? Chinballs out. Boo. Am I still using that music now, actually? Boo. I might have changed it by now. Boo. Yeah, that's a refreshing beverage right there.